track. Hello and welcome to Misfits on Vinyl. My name is Spencer Streichert. I'm an actor, comedian, and one of your hosts.
My name is Aaron Walsh, and I'm one of your hosts.
Aaron is also an actor.
Yeah, it's early this morning. It's 10 a.m.
It is 10 a.m. It's actually 10:23 in the morning.
I had to wake up at 6 this morning.
10:23 in the morning. Slight overcast. This is my audition for CKUA. It's 10:23 in the morning. That last track was by Tanya Tucker. Next up, we have the Vidos. We're going to have a call in from the Vidos later.
Yeah. This week. On music that makes you fall asleep.
We're in the midnight hour. I'm a volunteer. Okay.
I wake up at 2 a.m. for this radio show once a week. I love my life. All right, now a banger.
Lots of people in the music scene think that I'm going to put them on my show, so they give me free tickets.
Yeah.
I never do.
I never put anybody on my show. I actually play silence.
Listen, it's donors like you that really help keep the station alive. So please pledge at 1-800-593-CJSW.
Now, if you guys are looking for something funny to do in the Invermere area,
please come see me next weekend. No, this weekend. May 13th. I'm at Arrowhead Brewing. Tickets are going slow. Please, get your tickets to Invermere.
Get your fucking tickets, Invermere.
Okay, honestly, though, it's crazy because, Swift Current and Medicine Hat, you better get your tickets because it's almost sold out, both those shows. So those are doing great. Kelowna, doing great. Victoria, June 3rd, I'm at the Mint at 10 p.m.
Nice.
So I needed to make sure that that's out there. But Invermere this weekend, it's get your tickets, come on out. It's honestly going to be a great show, and it sucks because I realized that a month ago they had a theater show come through, a stand-up show in their theater. So I think all 4,000 people who live there went to see that.
Damn. which
is a bummer, but I mean it. You know, at the week of, a lot of times people buy tickets, so I'm not too worried about it. But Invermere, get your tickets. I have funny jokes to tell you.
Nice.
I have a whole hour of funny jokes. I've been working on this hour for years. It's going to be good.
Well, speaking of your tour, I mean, you got a nice little feature in, was it Kelowna?
Yeah, in the Kelowna Press. Yeah, that was cool. And there's a few other things that are going to be coming out soon, too, that I found out about the tour, press related.
Oh.
So we're doing it. We're doing it. It's funny because now the press is referring to Okay, first off, they mentioned us. They didn't give a fuck about my TV credits, which makes me feel good because that means that we're doing better than the TV shows.
They called you a music history buff.
Yeah.
Which we do talk about music history, but neither of us are very buff.
No.
So, it doesn't make any sense.
I would say that I am buff adjacent. If I did a push-up,
yeah,
I would look bigger.
If I could do a push-up.
Listen, I feel like here's the thing. You and I are both functionally athletic. Yeah. Because we were both athletic growing up. We were both athletes in high school. Yeah. Not to say that we're that far removed from high. Not that we're old and fucking decrepit or
no.
Damn it. What I'm trying to say is I feel like I am still functionally fit.
No, I'm functionally fat. I wouldn't say I'm functionally fit anymore. I mean, I was certainly athletic. Yeah, I played lacrosse at a decently high level.
Dude,
and hockey
Lizzo runs
life.
Marathons. Therefore, I am trying to say that we can also do that.
I don't run, dude.
I know, me neither.
No,
but you know what? Lizzo is inspiring me.
Maybe one day I'll take the urge to get in shape, but it's not today.
You know what? One day.
Maybe one
also,
day.
Have you seen Lizzo's TikToks?
No, I haven't.
Her shit's fucking great on TikTok.
I haven't. I
did
see the controversy in hockey though, where the commentator said the guys had a Lizzo-sized lunch. That's why they were skating slow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which didn't go over very well, believe it or not. Surprise.
I'm shocked that didn't go over very well. Which commentator was that?
That was PK Subban.
PK Subban?
Yeah.
Jesus. You know what's so funny is I remember so I used to be a Habs fan when I was in high school.
I am a Habs fan.
Okay, so I was a Habs fan like the Subban Carey Price era, right? Right right when Carey Price was coming onto the scene.
Like 2010 on.
Yeah. Like, it was like, I would say like 2008 until around 2014. Like, when I moved to Calgary, I was like, I live in this city. I got to support the one sports team here.
Fair enough.
I mean, like, not that there's not more. There's quite a few more. But you know what I mean.
Yes.
Out of major sports teams. And at the time, I wasn't willing to not support the Riders still in the CFL. And
Fair enough.
I mean, I'll still, at a Stamps Riders game, wear green because...
Might be a hot take. I don't think it is a hot take, but I don't consider the CFL a major sports
No,
league.
I don't either. I consider it a really fun thing to go to. And
it's a fun game to go to.
And I think that, like... Okay, I think that when people try and compare it to the NFL, it's really funny because I'm like, those are way too different of games.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Way too different of games. Like, there's nothing even remotely comparable.
Nobody
about them.
brings their talent to the CFL by choice.
No.
So put it that way. Yeah,
No.
nobody's like, I'm taking my talents to Regina.
No,
No,
and,
it doesn't
and you know what's
happen.
funny is like there have been some people who have like absolutely developed more here and then went on
that was
like
in the 80s mostly.
Yeah. And like the 90s, like Doug Flutie, he was
Mm-hmm.
like arguably one of the best quarterbacks of all time, I would say.
In that era, I would
In that
say,
era,
yeah.
like, you know, well, especially at that era, because it was like fucking John Elway was one of the big names back then. You know,
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino, got Dan Marino. Okay, we're not a football podcast, but
No.
we both know a lot about
I wear
football.
a sports jersey today, and then suddenly we start talking about. I know a lot about sports in general. I mean, I'm a big sports guy outside of one of my other interests. I know a lot about sports. I could talk sports for hours and hours.
Misfits on sports now, sports now, sports now, sports now.
Which sports we gonna talk today? We don't fucking know.
Football or baseball or hockey, the game on ice.
It's Misfits on sports now for me.
Fuck Karl Malone.
Yeah. Great. That's great. That's a great point. Which will come up later today.
Which will come up later
Sorry,
today.
Sam, I'm fucking with the mic.
Oh, that's all good.
There we go. Cool.
I answered on Sam's behalf. I shouldn't have. I apologize.
Sorry, Sam.
Sorry, Sam. Okay, so every episode on Misfits on. Oh wait, we have a story that we have to get into beforehand.
Yes.
You guys went on an adventure.
So, if Sam would like to hop on the mic, we have something new on the podcast.
Hello.
Sam has a mic.
Oh, you can hear him now.
Sam has a mic
Yeah.
acquired through Facebook Marketplace. We
Boy,
were
was that an adventure.
yeah. So currently Sam doesn't whip. So I am Sam's whipper. His whipper.
Wofer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a whip because my whip got hit by a 90-year-old Eastern European lady.
What's her name? Olga?
I don't remember her name, but I do have a picture of her driver's license.
Ooh,
so
we
I
could
could tell
dox
you.
her.
Yeah,
That's a
I have
great
her
idea.
address and everything.
Oh.
So yeah, Sam asked me to pick him up and drive up to the north, and we're gonna, pick up these mics. So I was like, okay, that's fine, Sam. Yeah, I got you, my boy. And he's like, yeah, like I'll get you some beer. We'll grab dinner, whatever. I was like, wicked. It's like, you don't even have to do that, I believe, because I'm such a good guy, is what I said. I said, you don't even have to get me anything. Yeah, because I'm
Pat yourself on the back a little more.
'cause I'm
fucker.
such an amazing human. Well, fucking, first of all, I love you, Sam, but 45 minutes of traffic to
Dude,
get from
I'm
Blackfoot
sorry.
to
Yeah.
Blackfoot up to fucking Deerfoot City.
Yeah.
Up by the rec room. And then we get there. It's nice. Sam got me some McChickens and this delicious vanilla chai frozen thing.
Yeah, like the iced vanilla chai frap at McDonald's. We're sleeping on it. Like it is fucking
it's
crack.
unbelievable. I've actually thought since we went up on Wednesday, I've thought about getting one twice.
Ooh,
Yeah, so that was Thursday and Friday. Today's Saturday, so it's been a daily thought.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a more strong urge than some drugs. Anyways, so we get up there and Saturday we eat, and then we're just hanging out. We were listening to fucking I can't even remember what we were listening to. New Tyler, the Creator. We're just sitting chit chatting. And Sam's like, oh, he's here. The guy texts him, I'm in a blue Toyota hatchback. Like, come find me in this giant parking lot. And
This sounds so scary. I'm not
And
gonna
then-
lie.
Well,
Sam-
The other part of this story is we were meeting him here because I found these microphones on Facebook Marketplace for a steal. Like, basically, you got 2 microphones for less than the price of one new one.
Oh, shit.
Like, it was an insane deal.
That's a great deal.
And I messaged him. Turns out he was in Medicine Hat, and I didn't read the full listing. And I was like, shit, I won't have time to drive out to you. I'm in Calgary. And he's like, well, I actually, I'm driving to Calgary to catch a flight to Kelowna. So that's why we were meeting him here, because he was literally driving. We made the trade, and then he was hopping on an airplane.
Oh, wow.
Like, he was a homie.
So I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for Sam to come back, and my windows roll down, and some fucking guy comes driving by, these 2 guys in, like, a white SUV. They're like, hey, do you want a TV? I was like, what? Like, for free? He was like, yeah, do you want a TV? He's like, Amazon gave me extra TVs. Like, I got 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, yeah, that'll fucking...
Yeah. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm going to have a look. I want to see what these guys are going on about. So I walk over. This guy's got, like, $10,000 projector set up in his fucking car. He's got 5 or 6 of them. Yeah, and he starts telling me this bullshit story. I don't even have to ask where they came from. He just immediately goes in the story. It's like red flag number 1. He's like, oh yeah, like I went to Amazon for my work. I work at Boston Pizza. We were supposed to pick up one and they gave me 6. I just sold one for like $2,000, $2,500. So like if you want to come in and offer me like $1,800, $1,500, like I'd be cool with that. I'd be like, first of all, like, thank you for thinking I have $1,800 just to spend all nilly-willy. Like, I'm fucking, like, that's, I really appreciate that. That's like 2 weeks of my pay.
You're like, I've had this Sixers jersey since grade 6, man.
Yeah,
I can't fucking afford
like, I really
that.
appreciate you think me and my 2002 Dodge Dakota have $1,800 is willing to drop to a stranger in a parking lot. Real sound logic there, buddy. But he had like 5 or 6 of them, and he's showing me. He's like, this one's got the projector had an MSRP of fucking $8,000 on the bottom. He showed me the tag, and then the screen was another like 2.5 G's. And he's like, yeah, dude, like just come in and like like you could do like 1,500. Like, nah, dude, sorry, like I don't have this. I give him like, I don't have the space for it, man. Like, not really something I'm looking to buy right now. Like, I was also like, this is not a TV. This is a projector. Kind of a whole different ball game. Anyway, so I walk away. The guy tries to like bring me back in a couple different times. He's like, oh, come on, bro. Like, what's the best you can do? Blah, 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 blah.
Name a price.
Yeah, name a price. And then Sam comes back with his mics, and I was like telling Sam, and then they peeled off. They come back around again, roll down the window. It's like the other guy starts talking to me. He's like, hey, man, like, what can you give me like right now for it? Like, if you were to give me anything. And then I was like, no, dude. And then they just took off.
Oh, dude, what?
Yeah, so I don't know. That's very interesting. They're definitely stolen.
They
Almost.
were eyeing us down too when they like drove off. That one dude was just staring.
You're
at
fucking
us.
mad,
I was
yeah.
Like, oh fuck.
If I can be totally honest, if I was a thief and I saw you two sitting in Aaron's truck in a parking lot,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would come up to you guys first to see if you'd buy something.
I know.
I don't know why. I just have a feeling I wouldn't.
I didn't seem like the target audience. Like, I mean, I wasn't going to narc on him, but it was pretty fucking weird. It was pretty fucking weird. And yeah, the guy was real strange. So yeah, if you're missing 5 to 6 fucking $10,000 projector setups.
The Cineplex close by.
Yeah, if you guys are,
yeah.
if you guys are missing some large, very expensive projectors, I think his name is Abdi. Abdi has them, and he's in Deerfoot City.
Wow.
So
in like a white van.
in
I
a
don't
white
even remember.
GMC
Oh, yeah.
SUV. Yeah.
Oh man.
So
That's crazy.
yeah,
That's a wild fucking story.
yeah. That was just a Wednesday. It was real straight. Never had anything like that happen to me before.
Yeah, that was just a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Then we got these microphones, and now everybody can hear my sweet, sultry voice.
Yeah.
I'm actually so happy about that because, as we were saying earlier, every time that Sam would talk before, I'd have to turn the volume up. And then when Sam would finish talking, my obnoxious fucking laugh would kick in so loud. I've been really self-conscious about that since I've been re-listening.
Well,
to
I listened to our podcast and I was like, why do I laugh like that? And I'm like, I don't know what my fucking laugh I do, but it's stupid. My laugh is stupid.
Man, I don't even think it's that our laughs are stupid. It's that they're loud.
Yeah,
That's the part that...
I also laugh at myself too, and anytime I'm laughing really hard, I always throw my head back. Like,
Yeah.
fucking, it's like pulling my hair back.
I
and so
fucking
loud.
hit my knee.
Yeah, I always do the.
I do a literal knee slapper.
Yeah. And then Sam always loves to zoom in on my face when I do that. Every time I whip my head back, I get the close zoom.
It's such a good edit reaction.
Yeah, every time.
I think both of us do that when we edit clips. I think that's how we know when the clip is when Aaron throws his head back.
Yeah, nice.
I actually have an AI scanning the video.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
We're
Well,
like,
I just fucked up the algorithm by doing that 3 times in a row.
Go back a minute, and then there we go. There's the clip. Okay. So on Misfits on Vinyl.
Yes, yeah, that was a bit of a turn. We got to do our little today in.
Today in music history.
Yes,
Sam's today in music history.
Me?
You.
Okay, I'll put my mic down.
Okay. Okay. So imagine that this is a trumpet. This is Sam's today in music history. In 1985, all-girl group The Go-Go's announced they were breaking up. The members went on to enjoy solo success. Belinda Carlson and Jane Wielden.
So they did go, eh?
Oh, they did. And the group reformed in the late 90s.
Nice.
In 2010, New York's Apollo Theater began installing bronze plaques on the sidewalk outside of the building of legends who had close ties to the theater. Among the first group honored were James Brown, Michael Jackson,
Nice.
Smokey Robinson,
Nice.
and Ella Fitzgerald.
That's a pretty good list.
That's a pretty
It's a
fucking
good
good
all-star
list.
cast.
A concert with them
Yeah.
would be fucking incredible.
That's a good starting 5. There's only. Did you say 5?
There's 4.
Oh, well, we need somebody else.
Smokey Robinson is like counts as 2.
Yeah, that works.
I'd count him as 2.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, in 1986, Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee married TV star Heather Locklear in a courtyard in Santa Barbara, California, with 500 guests. Tommy wore a leather tuxedo.
Nice.
Now I got a funny thing about this. So I read all of the like Motley Crue autobiographies in when I was in high school. I used to be a pretty big Crue head.
Yeah.
And shortly after they got married, Tommy Lee went to Mexico on like a trip with his friends, and he went fishing, and he got like one of those giant like marlins, like a spearfish, right? And so he got it like mounted. He brought it home, and Heather Locklear wouldn't let him put it up. So he like carried it out to the sidewalk and like sat on the fucking sidewalk and cried for an hour about it, which I think is so funny because he wrote it in his book.
That's funny. He's still not over it. I thought you were going to say, yeah, like shortly after they got married, they went to Mexico on a fishing trip with his buddies, and he came back with chlamydia. And then they got divorced.
Well, actually, the reason that they got divorced was because when Motley Crue was recording the album without Vince Neil in the mid-'90s there, they were at the studio late at night, and Tommy Lee hooked up with a porn star in the bathroom of the music studio, and by the time that he got back into the booth, Heather Locklear had phoned. Like the chain of fucking stories from porn stars stretches so wide that she had phoned the studio and was asking him for a divorce, which is pretty fucking wild.
They were just like talking into cups with strings, and they was just going around from porn star to porn star.
Dude, I have one more story about this.
Yes.
So a friend of mine about 10-15 years ago worked on a movie with Heather Locklear. And in between takes, like Heather Locklear's in holding, and she's like reading a newspaper. This was like 15 years ago. She's holding a newspaper, but she was reading about Motley Crue's final tour 4 final tours ago. And my friend was like, "Oh, that's cool, yeah, like the Motley Crue." And then Heather Locklear's like, "Yeah, I used to be married to the drummer." And then my friend had no idea though, and I was like, "Oh, you fucking suck!" I was like, I would have had so many questions.
Yeah, I would have followed up with quite a range.
I
of
would have
topics.
had such an array of questions, and not like inappropriate ones. Like I would have just been genuinely interested. Like, what the hell was it like going to a Motley Crue show in the '80s? Like, Jesus Christ, when like his rotating drum kit, that's fucking crazy. They engineered that in the '80s. That's wild. Okay. In 1999, American singer-songwriter, poet, cartoonist, screenwriter, and author of children's books, Shel Silverstein died of a heart attack, age 57. Wow, that was a lot of titles.
Yeah.
That is a lot of...
She's done a lot.
Yeah, no kidding. Not since then, but a lot before that.
True. Good
so
point, Spencer.
Shel had wrote A Boy Named Sue for Johnny Cash, which she won a Grammy for in 1970, and many songs for Dr. Hook, including Sylvia's Mother and the cover of the Rolling Stone.
Nice.
That's pretty fucking cool. I had no idea about that. I did not know that. I honestly thought that she was just a children's book author.
I love the song "A Boy Named Sue."
Me too.
Like,
Yeah,
underrated. I shouldn't say underrated, but that might be my favorite Cash song.
I
honestly.
think it's definitely up there. If I had to top 5, it's in there.
It's fucking good.
It's so good. I think that my favorite underrated one is Cocaine Blues. I think like that, but very similar style, where it's like aggressive storytelling song.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think you mentioned it because I didn't put it in the doc, but this is music history for May 10th.
Yes, May 10th. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I had a seizure for a second there. I was really scared. Okay. 1967, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards appeared at Chester Crown Court, Sussex, charged with being in possession of drugs. They elected to go to trial, pleading not guilty, and were both granted £100 bail.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. In 1969, Led Zeppelin made their first appearance in the UK album chart when the band's debut album charted at number 6, going on to spend 71 weeks on the chart. It entered the US charts the following week at number 10, recorded in around 36 hours.
Wow.
The album is now considered one of the most important debuts in rock, generating an entirely new interpretation of rock and roll and groundbreaking musical styles and recording techniques.
Fuck yeah.
Cool Calgary connection here. The board that they recorded on was actually at the Music Center here a couple of months ago, and they had a listening night where you could go in. It was a lot of money, like not a lot, but you know what I mean. It was like $350 to go in and listen to a lot of the demos that were recorded on that board.
Interesting.
Not just by Zeppelin. There was some big fucking bands, and then including, I believe, Loverboy and the Stampeders also recorded on that.
That's cool. We should do some content at the Music Center. I feel like we have a great resource in the
Yeah.
city, and I haven't even been there before.
I know. Me neither.
Yeah.
And I would love to.
Same. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Let's do it. Let's do
Yeah,
a
we
Misfits
should
on Vinyl field trip.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would actually be a shit ton of fun. Okay, in 1937, American jazz pianist, composer, and arranger Mike Melvoin was born. He worked as a prolific studio musician, recording with Frank Sinatra, John Lennon, Tom Waits, Barbra Streisand, the Jackson 5, Natalie Cole, and the Beach Boys on Pet Sounds.
Nice.
He worked in the early 70s as a music director on the Partridge Family recordings and also composed for film and television, contributing scores to Fame. Wow. He died in Burbank, California on February 22nd, 2012 of cancer at the age of 74. All right, releases on this day. First one. It's a big one.
I'm ready.
2005.
Yes.
The Dave Matthews Band released Stand Up.
Oh, yeah. Fuck Dave Matthews. It's another one we should beef with.
Dude, you know what? The one thing I will say about Dave Matthews over Counting Crows, because to me they sound exactly the same. I've had a hard time distinguishing the two at times, personally. And I like the lead singer of Counting Crows. I think he's an interesting
Adam
dude.
Derwitz.
Yeah, he seems cool. I just don't like the fucking music.
That's fair. Do you know the story about Dave Matthews Band with the shit?
No.
Did you ever hear about this story? I don't know the details, but Dave Matthews Band, their tour bus, I can't remember what city. I think it was Chicago. I don't quote me on this, but I know the gist of the story. Anyways, they were on top of a bridge, like an overpass, and they started dumping their shit over the overpass, and they dumped it onto a bunch of people. It might have been a parade. It's something ridiculous like that.
Wow.
Sam might have to fact check me on that, but look up Dave Matthews shit story. But yeah, they fucking dumped shit on top of people.
I like them more now.
I feel like it could be worse than what I'm even saying.
That's actually insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing that I know of the Dave Matthews Band that I listen to is their collab with Jurassic 5.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
Oh, they have that. I like Crash is okay.
Crash?
Okay, this is actually funny. I'm just gonna read you the headline.
Yeah, do it.
So this was Dave Matthews' tour bus dumped 800 pounds of shit on people taking a Chicago River cruise.
Yes. That's what I thought. Yeah, okay. Yeah, illegal dumping. And the 800 pounds of shit was all of his albums, actually. It wasn't even feces.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
Okay, yeah,
fun.
so I knew there was something. I knew it was Chicago. Yeah, fuck.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, and then they later donated $50,000 to an environmental organization.
I feel
as
like
an apology.
you should donate that to each person that got
Yeah.
shit on.
That's almost 20 years ago.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Today in music, Dave Matthews dumped shit on people, on unsuspecting victims.
Fuck Dave Matthews.
Yeah, so see, I knew there was something to do with shit in Dave Matthews.
That wasn't just their music.
It wasn't a commentary on his albums. Yeah, no, pretty funny.
All right, so in 1988, Prince released Love Sexy. In 1982, Duran Duran released Rio.
Nice.
Her name is Rio.
That's a good track.
Oh, it's so good. 1993, Blur released Modern Life is Rubbish.
I love that album.
That is a great
So
album.
fucking good.
Also, isn't the okay? What's Blur and the Gorillaz connection again?
Lead singer.
Yeah, the lead
singer,
singer.
okay.
I'm blanking on his name, but that was actually, if I'm not mistaken, the last album he worked on before they split, and
Oh,
he
shit.
became the Gorillaz.
Okay, that's good to know.
Maybe there was one other after that, but
I
it
think there might
wasn't-
be one because the Gorillaz debut was 2001. I thought, or
Yeah.
2000.
Isn't he on song 2?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And song 2, I think, was on their 1997 album.
Yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
their later albums. But yeah, same singer. I forget his name as well, but yeah, same singer.
Yeah, super fucking. You know what? I think it's funny. There's a documentary that I have to check out. It was recommended to me from Connor Christmas. Shout out to Connor Christmas about the beef between Blur and Oasis in the 90s, and apparently it's really fucking good. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But I really want to check it out.
There's this clip going around about Oasis. Matt Healy from the 1975. It was on Q. It's been bumping around on all the things, but he's talking about how ridiculous it is that Oasis are still fighting. He's like, imagine like not being in the top bands in the world because he says marding. He's like, because you're marding with your brother. Like, fucking make up. It's like you're dressing like you're in your 20s and you're in your 50s. Sort yourself out. Yeah, he's just like going in on him. It's quite funny.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
he's going to be the one that changes them.
Yeah, because after all, he's Matt from the 1975.
Okay, in 1994, Weezer releases their self-titled debut album,
Nice.
Weezer, the Blue Album. And in 2005, they released Make Believe, which has one of my favorite Weezer songs on it,
Which one's that?
Beverly Hills.
Nice.
I know
Is that where you want to be?
that is. Hear me, baby. Hear me, baby. Okay. Now, every episode of Misfits on Vinyl, we review
Yes.
an album.
Yes.
Sometimes it's one of our favorites. Sometimes it's a popular one. Sometimes it hits the crossover of the two.
Yeah.
This one,
It's just popular.
it's just popular.
Yeah. Put it blankly. I'm wearing an Allen Iverson jersey, and I happen to be Caucasian, and then there's a purpose to this.
Yes, and I am poor.
Yeah.
There also happens to be a purpose for that.
Bad financial decisions.
Bad financial decisions and shitty tattoos.
Tattoos.
So the album that we're reviewing this week is, drum roll please,
Lightning bolts.
pew, Post Malone's Stoney.
Stoney from Post Malone.
It is the debut album from American rapper and singer Post Malone. It was released on December 9th, 2016 by Republic Records. That's the same day that my debut album came out.
Really? There you go.
I'm not even kidding. That is the day that Winning by Default came out, which you can no longer get online. I kept it out for a few years, and then I was like, it's not really my style anymore. But it got me nominated for a Canadian Comedy Award for Best Album. So just a weird connection.
He was actually late on the release of this album, about a month and 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
Late, yeah. So it was a late release.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fell
it's
behind.
Funny because I had mixed my album like pretty much the week that I had recorded it, and then I just sat on it for a few months because I was like, I don't know when I want to release it, and then I was like, right before Christmas is a good time.
Yeah.
And then people actually bought it right before Christmas, which was surprising.
That worked out.
Okay, so the album was recorded in Texas, California, New York, and Florida throughout 2015 and 2016. He generally sing raps on the album and is noted for its woozy contemporary R&B hip-hop production. The album also features influences from country and outlaw country music. Album features guest appearances from Justin Bieber, Kalani, and Quavo.
Quavo. Yeah, you
Quavo.
got that.
I nailed that.
Yeah.
The deluxe edition was released on the same day. It features an additional guest appearance from 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz! Okay, the production on the album was handled by Malone himself. Weird name for a producer. Mustard. Metro Boomin, Vinyls, Frank Dukes, Ilangelo. Charlie Handsome.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's ugly. Rex Kudo, Foreign Tech, and Pharrell Williams, among others. Jesus Christ!
I like to give you the names because I know you struggle. Metro Boomin and Pharrell are definitely the biggest names on here. Mustard's fairly large as well, but his real name is Dijon. That's why he goes by Mustard.
Oh, why?
His first name is Dijon.
Why is his name Dijon?
I don't know. Because Grey Poupon was big at the time when he was born. Anyways, Metro Boomin, for those of you that don't know, Metro Boomin now is... No, not quite. But Metro Boomin, Make It Boom. I mean, he's been on a bunch of albums.
Wasn't that Snow?
No.
I like you boom boom now.
No, that's not it's his producer tag. You're driving me insane right now. He got kind of big around this time.
Insane in the membrane.
He got big around this time for his collaborations with Kanye West, Post Malone. He's now frequently collaborated with 21 Savage. They have an album together, and he just released Heroes Villains this year. It's got a bunch of the top songs out right now. The one with The Weeknd, Creepin', is very popular. Spencer, do not interrupt me one more time. Anyways, Metro Boomin.
When he asked 21 to collab, I bet he was like, 21? Can you do something for me?
Oh, probably. I don't even think you've listened to that song. Anyways, Metro Boomin is a big name. That's all I want. That was my point.
Metro Boomin.
Yeah, Metro Boomin, make it boom. Continue.
I prefer urban, country silence.
Okay.
I farted. Okay, so White Iverson was the debut single by Post Malone. It was originally released independently on Post SoundCloud. It had 1 million streams in its first month, leading him to land a record deal with Republic and releasing Stoney a year later.
That's a bit of the background to when this album came out.
That's crazy. This album helped Post rise to his current fame and success as one of the best-selling artists of all time, selling over 80 million records. Holy fuck.
And he's releasing an album this year. He released one last year. I mean, this is not his best work. I still think he peaked at Beer Bongs and Bentleys.
Yeah.
That had like 8 tracks in the top 20 billboards.
And it was at parties everywhere.
Yeah, he's still releasing quite a bit of music. So that's a little bit about that.
You know, it's also really interesting. This is like a side note, but talking about the country influences, one of my favorite things that came out of the pandemic was when he did the stream where he was doing all like country, and it was like he finished it with Sturgill Simpson's "Wear the Crown." Fucking god, he literally nailed the song, and did it justice. And Yeah, I was actually very impressed by that because I didn't. I think that was when I really started to appreciate him as a musician.
Well, there's some of his early clips too. There's a famous one of him singing a Bob Dylan song. That's the big one on YouTube when he first started out, which we'll get into because he's got a quite interesting. His about him is more interesting, I think, than this album itself. How he kind of became famous, I think, is way more interesting than this piece of music. So, yeah, we'll get into it about the artist. Let's do it.
All right, so Austin Richard Post was born on July 4th, 1995 in Syracuse, New York. Him and I are the same age. That's cool. He was raised by his father, Richard Post, and his stepmother, Jody. His father had been a DJ in his youth and introduced Malone to different genres of music, including hip-hop, country, and rock. Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very weird combo to be introduced to. You know? No. What I mean is, like, it's interesting because, like, I think a lot of times if your parents introduce you to a type of music, usually it's like one genre, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that both of us probably can nail down the genres that our parents listen to.
Yeah.
And I would not include hip-hop in either
No,
of
my
those.
dad's like Newfoundland folk music. Heave away, me jollies, heave away.
Your dad's listening to the East Coast Music Awards compilation
now we're
albums.
down in Old St. John's where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, me jolly boys, we're all around the bay. Sometimes we're off to Liverpool, sometimes we're off to Spain. Heave away, me jollies, heave away. Now we're down in Old St. John's where all the girls are dancing. Heave away, me jolly boys, we're all around the bay. Hey!
I have to say, one thing that I really appreciate about the East Coast of Canada is the music that everyone knows, like these sea shanties, and they all sing them, and they're all so fucking happy.
I love some of the songs. Some of the lyrics are great. Like there's the old black rum is great. It's like the old black rum's got a hold on me like a dog wrapped round my leg. Just great music, man. Like a dog wrapped round my leg. Hey, he said the old black rum's got a hold on me. Will I live for another day? Hey, will I live for another day?
Holy fuck, that's funny.
That's great.
So when Malone was 9 years old, he and his family moved to Grapevine, Texas, and his father became the manager of concessions for the Dallas Cowboys. He began to play the guitar after shredding and being the shit at Guitar Hero 2.
That's a direct quote.
I assumed. That's amazing.
Yeah.
He figured he might as well try the real deal. You know, it's funny because I did not have that experience. I remember 100%ing everything with the bass on Rock Band and having no inclination to learn the bass at all.
Yeah.
I was just like...
he said, quote for quote, he said he had his flip phone and he would record himself shredding Guitar Hero 2. And then he thought, I might as well learn the real thing. Is what he said. I watched some video of one of his early interviews on Noisy, I think, did. So some of the interesting stuff comes from that.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. So according to Malone, he chose Post Malone as his stage name when he was 14 or 15. The name was rumored to be a reference to the professional basketball player Karl Malone.
Yikes.
Two-time Olympian.
Do you know about Karl Malone?
I know he played for the Jazz, and he won 2 gold medals.
Do you know he impregnated a 13-year-old when he was in his early 20s?
Did not know that.
Yeah.
That's a...
Yeah, so Karl Malone is kind of disgraced. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's...
I mean, he did live in Utah, but still pretty brutal. Karl, come on.
The age of consent there is whatever...
Yeah, I think he was in university when this happened, but he's pretty brutal.
Yikes.
And it all came out after and kind of sullied his legacy.
Yeah, no, I see why.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. Mm-hmm. That's very bad, actually.
Yeah. And he didn't even pay child support.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yet he was like one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
And was making millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting.
That's why I said yikes.
Yeah, that's a big yikes.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any of that on his Wikipedia even.
Yeah.
Because I looked up some fun facts about Karl Malone beforehand.
Well, it actually has nothing to do with Karl Malone because he put his name in a rap name generator.
Yes.
And on Google, and that's how we got Post Malone.
Which, you know what? Good name.
Yeah,
Good name.
pretty good.
That's really gross about Karl Malone.
Yeah, I'm sorry to break it to you.
You know what's really funny about that, though? He did a segment on Jimmy Kimmel for a few years called Alone with Karl Malone. He was never alone, apparently.
No, it sounds like you don't want to be alone with Karl Malone.
Yeah, you don't want to leave your kids alone with Karl Malone.
Yeah.
Okay, so according to Malone, his first foray into professional music began when he was in a heavy metal band. That's pretty cool. During his high school years, he posted cover songs and made YouTube videos with his friends. Famously, one of these videos, titled Why Don't You Love Me, resurfaced post-fame and has gained 15 million views.
Yeah, it's like a goofy song he wrote.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it a Justin Bieber parody?
No.
Why don't you love me?
No, not quite. He's wearing like short shorts and a track jacket, and he's like running in front of a green screen.
How good were his shorts, Aaron?
See, I'm not vibing with yours today. They're okay. I'm not saying I dislike them. They're just compared to the other shorts.
I like these better than the other ones, honestly.
I think you're wrong.
I like them because they match my hat, and then if I wear my purple chucks with this, I'm all matching.
Nice.
I'm all toned.
I like your green shorts. We've established this. We've established this.
Well, after a brief stint in community college, he dropped out. His friend Jason Stokes, who had a successful gaming channel on YouTube, was planning on moving out to LA and creating content in a house with a bunch of other gamers. Post asked to tag along, even though he had no money from with promises to repay Jason. Post regularly appeared performing covers in Minecraft Universe's streams on Twitch and YouTube.
Yep.
Wow.
So this would have been like 2013, 2014 before he got famous. So he talked about it in this thing. Yeah, he just basically, he was like, Jason, can I go with you? I have no money. And he let him come along. And he said he slept in his friend's closet. So
wow.
Yeah, for the first like year or whatever he was living there.
You know what? He kind of he sounds like me if things went right.
Well, just wait, because the next part we could skip over. But he even said like he was so poor that he would like scrounge through their couch for change, or go through his buddy's car to get change so he could buy the important things, cigarettes and beer. Which is the quote directly from him. Yeah.
That has been me before.
Yeah,
I have done that.
Yeah, I'd go through the couch or go through his car just like to get a pack of cigs. That was his main priority at the time, was just cigarettes and alcohol.
Which, you know what? That's fair. I think that's most artists.
Yeah.
At a certain point, if you're if you're not a Nippo baby,
I like the way he put it. That he's like, oh yeah, I just like scrounged through his car. It's like, no, you stole.
You stole money.
You would open your buddy's car and you would steal from him. But you know,
dude, that's so funny because I hadn't even thought about it like that. But yeah, he's a thief. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so after moving to LA, he first met FKI first.
Yeah, FKI first.
Okay. What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
That's so stupid.
I don't know.
Who introduced him to Rex Kudo, who in turn helped him produce White Iverson. Post recorded the song 2 days after he wrote it. He thought of the name after getting braids in his hair, thinking he looked like a White Iverson, a reference to the professional basketball player Allen Iverson. With no money, Post felt pressure to release the song immediately despite advice to wait. He released it the day after the recording was completed. Currently, the music video has over 1 billion views. That's crazy.
It cost him $5,000 to make that music video.
Wow.
Yeah, is what he said. So it's
that's really crazy. And with YouTube, that means that he made like 4,000 back.
Yeah, that's great. He almost broke even.
After hitting 1 million views within a month of releasing White Iverson, Malone quickly garnered attention from record labels. In August of 2015, he signed a recording contract with Republic Records. Yep. You know what I was doing in August of 2015?
Moving here?
No, I lived here already.
Nice.
I was a professional extra for a summer.
Nice.
Yeah, it was actually like it's funny because like looking back on it is really funny because I was just running around to open mics and doing background work and doing like a few like short films and like I have a story to tell about this because this is in August of 2015. I was special skills on an episode of Hell on Wheels.
Nice.
And you see me for a brief second because there's a big gunfight between the Confederates and the Yankees. Like I'm in a Yankee camp and we're all sitting around the fire like listening to a song, and then a bunch of Confederate soldiers ride in on horses and they fucking are firing guns at everyone. People are falling through tents and shit. I literally only got it because I had my pal, so that was the only reason.
Nice.
But they were like at the time I got paid $35 an hour, and I for one of those hours they cut my hair. So I got paid $35 to get my hair cut.
I got a haircut.
I think is pretty fucking funny. August 2015, he performed at Kylie Jenner's 18th birthday party, where he met Kanye West, who enjoyed his music, leading to him collaborating with Malone on his single Fade from the album Life of Pablo.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Malone later began a friendship with Canadian singer Justin Bieber, leading to Malone being an opening act for Bieber's Purpose World Tour in 2016 to 2017, which that was honestly some of the best Bieber music, I would say.
Yes, some of his best work. I mean, there's some weird conspiracy going on about him now. Like, you know, he's selling off his masters. Apparently, like, people think he got married because he had a criminal record and his work visa in the U.S. There was going to be issues with his work visa. And then now, apparently, there also might be some issues with his masters. This is a conspiracy theory going around that he can't actually collect the dues from his masters, what he's owed from his masters because of his criminal convictions. So there's some sort of weird...
Wait, what?
Yeah, because it's like it's based in the U.S. That's what I don't know. I don't know if I fully buy it, but the marriage thing I might buy because they got married. They got married in a hot flash.
In a hot second. I also buy the whole like church angle and like Stephen, because it's Stephen Baldwin's kid, right? Like the whole conspiracy about the like. Yeah, like, you know, it was a contract and all that stuff. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That fucking happens in Hollywood all of the time. There's these contract marriages that are just for a purpose, right? Okay, so Malone later called the album Stoney mediocre.
He's self-aware.
He's self-aware.
Yeah.
I would also call this album
mediocre.
Yeah, slightly less than mediocre.
Yeah, I would agree.
In February 2017, he revealed the title of his next project, Beer Bongs and Bentleys. In September of 2017, he released the first single from the album Rockstar, featuring 21 Savage. Song peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and held the spot for 8 consecutive weeks. It was a good time in music.
Yeah, that's a good album.
Upon release, Beer Bongs and Bentleys broke the first day streaming records on Spotify with 78.7 million streams worldwide. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, moving 461,000 album equivalent units in its first week.
Wild.
With 153,000 of those coming from pure sales. The album was also certified platinum by the RIAA 4 days after its release and spawned 3 top 10 songs and 6 top 20 songs.
Pretty wild.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Later that year, he broke Michael Jackson's 34-year record for most weeks on the Billboard's top R&B hip-hop albums chart, with Stoney reaching its 77th week on the ranking compared to the 76 weeks that Thriller spent. Malone was nominated for 4 awards at the Grammy Awards for his album Beer Bongs and Bentleys. Among the nominations were Album of the Year and Record of the Year.
Didn't win.
Didn't win?
Nope.
No win. No win Malone.
No win Malone.
He went home alone.
He went home alone.
All right. On August 26, 2019, he announced on Twitter that his third album is called Hollywood's Bleeding and would be released on September 6, 2019. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 489,000 album equivalent units in its first week. It featured a track with Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Hollywood's Bleeding would go on to be nominated for Album of the Year at the 63rd Grammys. And 12 Carat Toothache, his fourth album, it was released on June 3rd, 2022.
Yeah, and there's a couple little tracks and collabs through there, like Sunflower was for the Into the Spider-Verse. That's one of his more popular songs. He's got that awful track, Jackie Chan, with Tiesto. Yeah. I just ordered sushi from Japan. Now we're gonna kick it, Jackie Chan.
Yeah, not the right country.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jackie Chan's from Hong Kong.
Yeah, fairly certain.
Yeah. I feel like
99.99%.
And as controversial as Hong Kong's geography is in some spaces and who they belong to, it's definitely not the Japanese.
No.
So it's definitely not the Chinese either. Come at me, Winnie the Pooh.
These opinions are Aaron's and not my own. I believe that Taiwan is a state of China.
Come attack my phone.
Shut the fuck up, Spencer.
Come check my data. Come hack me, China.
They already have. They already have all my
I have
data.
no plans of owning a Huawei. I have no plans of visiting your country. You treat your people terrible. So yeah, that's
They're high-speed rail, though.
yeah. Who gives a fuck? There's a genocide. The Uyghur Muslims. Hong Kong should be an independent state. Taiwan should be an independent state.
I agree with all of these things, but
we may have to cut this because we'll get attacked.
No, I don't think that we'll get
No,
attacked.
we won't get attacked.
We will not get attacked. I think here's
I can't wait to post that clip on TikTok.
That'll go far on TikTok. Yeah, I'm sure the algorithm will love that.
Yeah, that for sure will not get us shadow banned on the app
yeah.
that is run by the state government of China.
No.
What I think is crazy. Have you seen the documentary? What's it called? Oh, can't get you out of my head.
Mm-mm.
It's a 6-parter. It's a BBC doc, and it's all about basically it's about propaganda and media manipulation, and it looks at 4 distinct it's all through the 1900s until now, but it looks at 4 countries in particular. It looks at the U.S., China, Russia, and the U.K. because they had the most change in that time, right? But what's crazy is that the same tactics that the Communist Party used for the uprising, in China, are the same tactics that corporate America uses to sell products, which is pretty fucking funny, honestly.
Doesn't surprise me.
It's not at all shocking.
But yeah, we won't go too deep on the relationship with China. But yeah, no, they're not.
Why did you say it like Trump there?
Yeah, because I had to. China.
But I won't go too deep into the relationship with China.
I have no issue with the Chinese people. I have issues with the Chinese government. I feel terrible for a lot of people that live there, and some of the atrocities that happen over there.
I agree, and I think
Tiananmen Square happened.
Yeah,
yes. Let's just leave it at that.
It did exist. It did exist. Yeah,
it did exist.
Good enough.
I would like to take a middle of the road approach, I do all the time with anything political, because I, for one, want to sell to the 1 billion people that live in China. Okay, so relationship with the hip hop community.
Yeah, this is an interesting.
So I didn't know that there was anything that was controversial about him with the hip hop community.
So there's a couple things that are, and we'll read through them. But yeah, he's got a bit of a. It's been noted that he is not quite liked in the hip hop community. He's also there's been rumors he's denounced hip hop while he also rose up on hip hop as well. Because when he first dropped Stoney, he was apparently, this is just rumors, he denied it, but apparently he was invited on to do the XXL freshman class, and apparently he turned it down because he viewed himself as a country pop artist, not a hip hop artist. And then there's some other stuff here now that you can read that is quite interesting. Lil B's got a great quote.
Okay, so he was called a culture vulture,
yes,
multiple times by different publications and on social media for appropriating African American culture. And California rapper Lil B wrote on Twitter in October of 2017, Post Malone is slowly turning into a white dude. Lol, he's pushing it. Give it a few years and he's going to be full country and hate blacks. Lol. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
With Post replying in an interview claiming that his white skin has been used against him. No, why would you say that, you fucking idiot? Jesus Christ. Of all the things that you could say, okay, I don't think that, controversial opinion here, don't think that obviously there's some people that might be against it, but I don't think that in the grand scheme of things, color of someone's skin really matters that much in hip hop if you're respecting the art form and good at it.
I see some reasons why, he's being a culture vulture for hip hop culture. I mean, he comes out, he's a white guy that grew up in Texas, and he originally was singing country music. But then he drops White Iverson. He's rocking grills. He's got braids.
Yeah.
You know, I can see why people would
No,
say
and
that about him.
I definitely agree
right?
with that, but I don't like the excuse of
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
my white skin.
Yes.
Like, oh,
well,
shut the
he's
fuck
got
up.
a worse one next.
Shut the
Listen
fuck
to
up.
this next thing he said.
In November of 2017, Post Malone was criticized across the internet for comments made in an interview that seemed to dismiss the emotional range of hip-hop, the genre of music he creates. If you're looking for lyrics, if you're looking to cry, if you're looking to think about life, don't listen to hip-hop. Oh, you fucking idiot. He said, adding that whenever I want to sit down and have a nice cry, I'll listen to some Bob Dylan. Okay.
Like, yeah, sure. Bob Dylan's fun, but like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. There has been a lot of hip hop that has made me emotional, and like not even stuff that is like groundbreakingly original in terms of like I've looked at some of the mainstream stuff has made me emotional. Yeah. There's been a few Eminem songs that have actually made me like emotional in the past. Specifically, a lot on the Marshall Mathers LP 2, where he kind of fucking goes into a lot of.
I'd like to say A Tribe Called Quest's final album. Like,
Yeah.
I cried multiple times.
Yeah.
I listened to that. It's a good fucking listen.
Even there's some recent songs, like there was I forget who sings it. There's one that's a tribute to Virgil Abloh. It's called What Happened to Virgil. I think it's Young Dirk. It's quite a good song as well. I wouldn't say it's overly emotional, but the content of the piece is emotional. Talking about,
also a bunch of clippings tracks, their stories,
Clippings,
singles are fucking. Like,
I wouldn't
emotional.
agree. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, but I think if you're in the hip hop space and you create, hip hop music, and you say, I think one of the quotes is, they don't talk about shit. That no one's talking about real shit, I think is one of the things he said,
which is bullshit.
That same interview.
That's the whole point.
And
of
it's
hip-hop.
like you can't define real shit. I mean, people are like, a lot of hip hop is talking about, tough life experiences.
Yep.
Growing up in poverty. With crime, violence. Some like to argue it's glorifying it. Some like to argue that it's just telling the facts of life.
Yeah.
So you can't say that's not real shit. Yeah. People make up stuff in the hip hop community. Say I do this or I was this, I was that. Certainly, but you can't say it's not real shit. People are talking about their life experience. That's what hip hop is all about, is talking about life experiences. People talking about, look at some of the stuff that Kendrick talks about.
Yeah, I was about to say, listen to the newest Kendrick album.
Yeah, like it's not, it might not be emotional in the same way that it'll make you cry, but people are speaking about topics with emotion.
Yeah.
And, I think it's bullshit to discount that.
And I also feel like that's as generic as saying that country music is all just about trucks.
Yes.
That's just a fucking
there's
blandly
depth and
wrong
insight
statement.
in every genre of music.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of music itself.
I think there's a lovely crossover that we don't acknowledge enough between hip hop and country. Like,
No, there is.
There's
Yeah.
like the lyricism is very similar.
it's the storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's that's where it really comes from. I mean, both genres started from, I wouldn't say similar places, but similar backgrounds. It's working class folks. It's people that are that's where those genres come out of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. It's working class people. It's
Telling
stories of
stories,
struggle.
telling their truth, telling stories. Yeah. So I don't know. That quote pissed me off.
No, that really annoys me. And it sucks too, because like I agree with you, Sam, that the crossover is pretty. I think it's something that we don't recognize enough, because OG country music was talking about like the poverty that rural Americans were going through, and the fucking like they were like very anti-government, and that they were like, don't send us to fucking war, don't be taxing us to beat hell when we aren't making any money. Like it was
exactly.
a
And
lot.
that's exactly what hip hop is for the past like 20 years. Actually, since the beginning. Really, the influences of that are strong now.
Of course, there's different different parts of country music. There's your bro country that's all about turning up. There's your hip hop that's all about turning up, that are party songs. But that doesn't define the genre, right? So that that really pissed me off when I heard that.
Yeah, no, I can say with so much confidence, my stepdad loved his country. And when he came into my life, me and my sister's life, we turned him on to rap very hard.
Nice.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I think it's funny, because if I look back at like the two genres that have been consistent through my life, it's been hip hop and country, which is I think that should say everything right there. Okay, so I'm kind of skipping ahead a bit here. Oh wait, no, fuck. 1 week later, he said the comments were made during a beer tasting interview, implying that alcohol was a factor in his statements, despite making what appears to be an overwhelming mischaracterization of hip hop in the original interview. He insists that he was speaking only about his personal tastes. Who am I to tell you what you should feel? That you should feel a certain way when listening to something. Okay, that's fair.
At least he backed it up a little bit.
Yeah, at least he backed it up.
Well, this is exactly kind of, he just summed up what we kind of said.
Yeah. Track lists and notable singles. White Iverson, I Fall Apart, Congratulations, which was Diamond certified.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling Whitney, Go Flex, and Deja Vu.
Nice. The only ones I really like are Congratulations, Feeling Whitney, and I Fall Apart, and White Iverson. That's the only tracks I actually still bump from that album. Not even that I bump it that often either. That's the only ones I really listen to, that I would listen to again.
Yeah.
I do like I Fall Apart. I think that's a good song.
I think it's a really good song. Pitchfork noted, okay, so we're in the reception now.
Reception.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Pitchfork noted, following the success of his viral hit White Iverson, Post Malone releases a 68-minute album that shows exactly why he should have never been given the chance to release a 68-minute album. Giving the album 4.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay. All Music rated it at a 2 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
Exclaim gave it a 6 out of 10. Commercially, the album was well received. Stoney debuted at number 6 on the U.S. Billboard 200 with 58,000 album equivalents, of which 19,000 were pure album sales. June 6, 2018, the album was certified 3 times platinum for combined sales and album equivalent units of over 3 million. Mm-hmm. That's fucking crazy.
So it's like, yeah, it sold very well, and this is the album that kind of, like I said, shot him into fame, but it was not well received critically. I mean, commercially, I think it rides the singles in the big tracks. I mean, like we said, Congratulations is Diamond. So that's, I think Congratulations went 11 times platinum.
Jeez.
So that's a huge track. White Iverson, like I said, has got 1 billion views. So he's riding his singles on this album, because the whole album is so overinflated. There's so many tracks can be done without. It also kind of feels a little rushed.
Yeah.
I mean, we can kind of dive right into the.
Let's just get into the review here, because I don't. Okay, this is a thought that I have, and I want to weigh it with both of you. Mm-hmm. Should we eliminate the criticism section because we end up talking about it when we're reviewing the album?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking about that the other day.
I don't write anything for it anyways. We usually just talk about how we feel about the album. So yeah, I don't think we need it.
Okay, so review of the album. Every episode, we review the album out of 10 in the following categories: technical element, musical element, lyrics, reception, album art, and does it hold up? Technical element. I would say one of the better parts of the album is how it's mixed.
Yeah, I think like he's working with. He's working. I think it's.
I'm saying better, and that's not a good thing.
I think he's got his. I think it's got its high points and it's got its low points.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, the big singles, obviously, they're still very popular. I mean, you could go to a party and I'm sure you would hear a track off this album.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it. I mean, he's got some heavy hitters: Pharrell, Metro Boomin, Mustard. Like, there are some bigger producers on it, but it doesn't really save the low points. There's a lot of low points. I mean, the opening track fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, the album is not great. There's a lot of weird, like, the woozy beats don't really work all the time. No, it's I would say technically it's kind of muddy. It's lacking any sort of cohesiveness.
Yeah.
It feels like, which sometimes hip hop albums do, sometimes they do not, when they have multiple producers. If it's got a full vision from the artist itself, it can feel cohesive with multiple producers. Doesn't feel that way. Like I said, it feels rushed. Like, he signed his record deal in 2015, and off of a viral hit, and then, almost exactly a year later, he's got a full album that's 68 minutes long. That's fucking 20 tracks. Like, it's overinflated.
I feel like it's, if we compared this to Good Kid, Mad City, which also had multiple producers, what you said is true. If the artist has a vision for the project, it's going to be better.
Yeah, it's a miss, and I think he's proven later on that he can make a cohesive album. Like we said, he kind of peaked with Beer Bongs and Bentleys.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the biggest albums of the late 2010s. That kind of solidified him musically more than this album did. But this. Technically, I'm going low.
Yeah,
I'm going to go 5.
I'd say. Oh, I was going to say 4.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
I was going to go
4.5.
Okay, 4.5. All right, musical element. I would say very low. I don't think that it's like okay. Like I would say it's probably around the same for me. I'd say like probably a 4.
I might go a bit higher. I mean, I do commend him for trying something different. I mean, trying to blend genres that don't typically blend. Singing, and it's weird because you'll go into like a trap song, and then you'll go into like a real sing-songy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get he's trying new things and trying something different than what was out at the time. But Sam put it really well. Like that sound got old fast at the time, and hip hop, the landscape has changed so quickly since 2016 from that sort of sound, that singy rap, pop rap is not really what's popular in the hip hop space. Not that it had a very brief moment with your Fetty Wap and this song and that sort of thing in 2015, 2016. This is kind of fits that mold. White Iverson, congratulations, fits that mold. The sing-songy rap, that's not what's popular anymore. That moved past very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
I was over it like from my first listen, honestly.
Yeah.
I really didn't like it.
I will give him a bit higher just because I do commend him trying something different. It didn't work out, but you have to commend the artistry for trying to do something different. I'm going to go a 5.5 or a 6. I'll go 6.
6? Okay, so we're at a 5 now out of 10. Lyrics, wow, I'm not going to lie, I'm going really low on this. Fucking,
yeah, that's fine.
Like, even just like from like, swaggin', I'm swaggin', oh yeah. Bitch yeah. Like, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing? Write more words. So I would say 2 out of 10.
I'll go 3.
Go 3. Okay, so we're at like a 4 out of 10 right now,
which is fair.
Reception low. It's like
I think it's tough because it was received commercially quite well. Critically yet, but we've done albums that were received poorly critically, but also grew over time and had a large.
That's true.
So I mean, I think we have to go mid on this just for consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have a large following. It stayed on the charts, the R&B hip hop charts for 77 weeks.
Yeah.
That has staying power. That has it's sold whatever we said 3 million albums. I mean, it's got some staying power. I think reception-wise, we can meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Because critically, it's panned, but commercially, it's very successful.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a 6.
Yeah, I'd go with a 6. So now we're at a 5 out of 10 again. Album art, it's pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's just him
4.
with a red background.
4.
Yeah. I'd probably say like 3.5.
But I mean, none of his albums really have great art.
No, but I would say too, around that time, that was like the same time that like every fucking rapper had the same sort of album cover where it was one color background, they're sitting there looking fucking kind of sad.
Yeah, it's a 4.
Yeah, 4. Okay, so we're at a 4 out of 10. Does it hold up?
Can't say completely. I think certain tracks do. I wouldn't say they even hold up. I say they have replay value out of nostalgia, out of popularity. I wouldn't say they hold up though. Wouldn't say it holds up as a whole. Do we even rate this one, or we just say yes or no?
I think we just say yes or no.
I'm mid.
Mid?
I'm mid on it.
Maybe?
Yeah, I'm in between. I think certain parts of it hold up.
I hope that this isn't one of those albums like how we've discovered some of the music from our parents' generation that, was critically panned at the time, commercially successful. I hope it's not like that. So
I don't think it will be.
Yeah.
I don't think this, even like I said, nobody's coming and, playing the middle tracks on this album. Nobody's replaying the singles.
No.
They replay the singles. They don't play the the mid tracks on this album. So I think it's a weaker showing from him. I'm happy at a 4 or 4.5 out of 10. I think that's completely fair.
I think 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
All right, let's do it.
So that is another episode of Misfits on Vinyl. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any album recommendations, send them our way. And come see me on tour.
Yes.
All right. Anal contusions.
Anal contusions. Thank you for listening to this episode of Misfits on Vinyl, hosted by Spencer Streichert and me, Aaron Walsh, and of course produced by Sam the Tech Man, Sam Lindsay. If you like us, please rate us, subscribe to us, share us. Our socials are Misfits on Vinyl Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to send us an email with any suggestions or criticisms, we love that shit, so send it away. It's misfitsonvinyl@gmail.com. We love you guys. Thank you.